Alright, now I haven't made a structured performance test video in a very long time, and my apologies for that. That will change, and today I'll be taking a look at Selena. Now this is one of the newest Transcendants that was added to the game, and honestly, this is one of my favorite characters at the moment. The gameplay and playstyle is really good. This game is known for having very fast-paced combat, very flashy combat, and overall very satisfying combat. The game overall does feel a lot smoother than before, so I believe that the developers have done something to improve that in all of the recent updates. Okay, now let me go to the character list. She is not on the primary list, she is on the list below, and currently we have only 3 Transcendents in the game, but there will be more in the future. Now, the visual looks of this character are amazing. One of the prettiest characters that they have added to the game, and honestly, this costume here is I'm not quite sure where I got it, but I'm pretty sure that it's free to obtain. But you also have the other 3 default outfits. They also look pretty nice, pretty good. And I believe we also have a new one that was added in the last Spark update. I think it's actually the 4th or the 5th. Oh, there it is. And this one's actually free. You can obtain the outfit from one of the events that is currently ongoing. So, am I going to get this outfit? Oh hell yes, I am. Working towards that, of course. I do like how this character looks, so of course I will go for that coating. Although this one also looks very nice, so I will keep using it throughout this video. Now this character is 10% physical, 90% lighting damage. Construct type is Vanguard, speciality melee able to affect the game through different orb pings, and burst able to switch to signature move status in a quick manner. On the graph we can see that the difficulty, burst and single, as well as durability and area aspects of the character are quite good, but the support role might be a little lacking, which I can see why that's the case. So this character is a DPS character. Now I don't really have a lot of lighting damage characters on the global version, so will be a very nice addition to the elemental damage team, on my team at least. Okay, now I have the recommended memories, and I have the 4-star weapon. Unfortunately did not get a 5-star weapon. Now interestingly enough, this character doesn't have any recommended lineup. You can use the character solo, which is very interesting and I think very unique at the moment. And here you can take a look at the memory stats. Now 6-piece effect is really nice, and overall all of the effects should be really nice. And even though my combat level is, I would say, lowish because of the weapon, I should still be able to clear stuff very easily. Now this weapon does increase the attack speed. Attack is increased by 8%, and after dodging the movement is increased by 8% for 4 seconds, which is honestly very nice. Should be able to run really well even with the 4-star weapon. Now level 80, the character is maxed out. The rank is also maxed out. Now the character is only rank S. Should be honestly more than enough, and let me show you the skills that she has. Now the red orb leaps and thrusts the silver blade into the ground to summon lighting that strikes the enemy for 247, 494 and 741% lighting damage based on the number of orbs pinged. For 1 orb it's 247, for 2 orbs 494, and for 3 470. Lightning Spiccato charges forward and strikes with the bow, dealing 240, 480 and 720% lighting damage based on the number of orbs pinged, which is honestly so far really nice. Blue orb 240, 480 and 720% lighting damage, also really nice. Should be able to help out. Oh, now The active skill, Dancing Stroke, basic attack, launches consecutive attacks with a steel blade dealing 852% of physical damage. So this is the basic attack. Tempest finally signature move: when Selena has Tune, she can summon 60 energy to activate Chaotic Mind and renew the duration of Soul. If Soul is active, once activated she gains Staccato based on the amount of Tune, also increasing movement speed by 30% and gaining 50% extra damage reduction. For 8 seconds, use basic attack or ping Staccato orbs directly to unleash 2 sonic waves, causing 650% lightning damage in total. That's a very long description indeed, and overall a lot of new terms. I like how every character has their own names for the moves and attacks. It's very nice. I like it. Nightingale Strike. QT launches a swift attack, dealing 640%. Vanguard increases damage by 20%, and she gains shield equal to 20% of maximum health for 10 seconds. Also pretty nice, and for this you get 3 signal orbs when entering battle. Now the passive skills. Core passive attack increased by 80% in Dead Zone, making a 3 ping will generate a triad of the same color, and the next orb ping will trigger Shard. If the Shard has the same color as the triad, applies concerted on the target, dealing 20% of lightning damage, and reduces the extra damage bonus by 30% for 8 seconds. If the charge color is different from the triad, apply solo on self instead, increasing extra damage bonus by 20% for 8 seconds, and sell against Tune based on the number of orbs ping when charge is triggered. Overall, very nice. Leader lightning damage of all members increased by 10% and 5%. Lightning damage increased by 10%. Concerto is applied to all the enemies within a 12-meter radius. Short triggers Concerto and Solo at the same time. The extra damage of Solo increased by 20%, and Concerto deals 50% more damage. And the last one, passive lightning damage increased by 10%. Tempest finally deals 20% more damage. Okay, a pretty lengthy skill list, and I like it. Not a big learning curve, honestly, but overall does take some time to get used to. This game does rely a lot on skill, and with time you actually do get better, and with practice you achieve better results. Having best equipment is not the answer in this game. You can easily do it free to play as well, if of course you practice a lot, and with time you do get good at this game. Now let's see how this character plays in this little short section here, and afterwards I will put the character through the usual tests in difficult stages against bosses, and things like that. Now I would say it's easier to play the normal characters, because the normal character list has healers, has tanks, but the Trancendants at the moment don't really have a lot of options. You have only 3 characters. Basically, with this character the team is completed. So no healer. I think we have a tank and we have a DPS. So it will be very interesting to see how this will go. Now I know I played the previous Transcendent, the previous test that I done, and I honestly did enjoy the gameplay. It was a little bit difficult, so I expect the same difficulty with this character, but we will find out that very soon. So far, as you can see, pretty smooth moveset. The graphical effects on the character are absolutely amazing. Now, it's no secret that this game has an amazing soundtrack, and this game is known for having amazing music. And there's also a rumor that was going around for like 3 years now that some of the character names are actually based on DJs. So, and with one character that's literally a character that, well, likes music, I guess. It's kind of obvious that music is a big part of this game, and of course I really love that aspect. One of the most polished and one of the most beautiful games that I've personally played in a very long time. Okay, well then, time to go and put the character to the real little test here against a real combat scenario. Now I will use the other sentence just to complete the team, not to leave the character all alone. After all, they're meant to be used in a synchronized manner, so I will do that. Now, I haven't played this map over here in a very long time, so And I'll be honest with you, before actually finishing up this recording, I actually died a lot of times on this stage because, well, I'm a little bit rusty, so I had to, you know, get the good run and had to get used to the enemies again. And after, you know, couple deaths, couple retries, I did manage to get a very nice little run here. Now, there is going to be a new character coming up in, I think, next month or the month after that will clear this in less than 10 seconds. Now, it's not going to be fair to compare the clear time with a normal character, with a normal construct, because the Trancendants really don't have a complete team, so I'm not going to compare just the time that it takes for me to clear this with other characters. But we are at the 1 minute mark and I cleared the stage at exactly the 1 minute mark. Well, and that was actually, you know, easier than it looks. Easier than I expected it to be. Overall, no issues. Very smooth, clear. Now the combat power recommended is 6,500. My combat power is like 5,200, so I'm actually, according to the game here, a little bit underpowered for the stage. But I still clear this without a problem. Okay, let's go to the next stage. This is the next difficulty, although not the next difficulty, but you know, the map after the first one with different enemies. Now, I have to say, she is quite tanky. It doesn't really take a lot to kill most characters if you get hit in these stages, but she did hold out really well. Most characters die in 1 or 2 hits. I suspect the super armor that you get from the skill does help with that a lot. Oh, since we're at it, tell me, what is your favorite character in the game? I have a bunch of them, but my personal favorite character is this one and the one that's going to be released in 2 months. You will see what I mean. That's one of the upcoming characters is going to be absolutely insane in the terms of DPS that you can deliver. Clearing this in like 10 seconds was hilarious. You will see what I mean. I'm setting up for that character. I'm not going to pull anything until she is out. Okay, we are at 1 minute and 47 seconds, which is still, honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with that score. Now, the other characters, the other Transcendents are also about the same combat power, I believe. So, I'm basically clearing this with underpowered characters, and so far I think I'm doing well. For example, I didn't have to retry this stage, so that's good. Okay, I'm quite satisfied with that result. Let's go to the Nightmare Rescue 3 and let's begin the mission. A lot of players say that her story is one of the best stories that has been written in the game. One of the best written stories. I haven't played all of it yet, but I plan to release it and I plan to play it. Now this stage is also quite fun. When all of them start jumping around, you have really to time your evasion, or else you get yeeted in 1 hit. Or perhaps all of them hit you at the same time and you die instantly. I think all I needed to do is just, you know, to warm up a little bit and I should be able to dominate. I used to be playing this game a lot more seriously back in the day, when there was no global version. Although there's a lot of games that I play right now, so And honestly, I'll be that honest with you. I do miss playing this game a lot more actively, and I think I'll play it more actively. It's such a good game, honestly. Such a fun game, one of the most fun games that I've ever played, and the developers really know what they're doing. Okay, that was Nightmare Rescue 3. Let's go Nightmare Rescue 4. So far, I think I'm doing quite well. The character is also performing really well despite the low combat power. Now, I've learned something with time, that the combat power doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it does technically mean something, but when you start playing, you kind of forget about the combat power thing and you just play and have fun. And if you are pretty good at the game, then the combat power will not mean much, because you will still clear everything just fine. It will take a little bit longer in some cases, but in the end you will still clear everything fine. Of course, having very developed characters and having all that nice stuff is going to help out a lot, but it's not really everything. I really like that the ultimate gets charged so quickly. One of the best looking ultimates in the game, if you ask me. Cannot wait to start. Actually, I do have the thermal monitor on. Yeah, I have temperature 81 degrees Celsius. Lovely. Quite nice and toasty. Playing on a huge tablet. Although I have to admit, playing on a phone or a computer is a lot easier. Okay, let's go to the next map. This is Nightmare Rescue 5, I believe. Can also be quite challenging. The main issue would be that sentry gun in the back. Although the other targets can also, the other enemies can also be quite. They can be quite dangerous. They can stun you and keep you stunned while you take damage from the other enemies, and that can kill you like in couple hits. That's why I always try to eliminate them first. Okay, and this is the last enemy. Honestly, I'm clearing this quite, I would say, fast. I remember some other characters did take a little bit longer, so it's not really the worst time. Although again, not really fair to compare this character to the normal characters, to normal constructs, because you know there are differences. But I'm quite happy with this result. About 2 minutes, very nice. And I think this might be the last Nightmare Rescue. Let me double check that. Yes, it was. Okay, well, passed flawlessly. Very nice. Okay, let's go and do the boss battles. We'll start with Dark Camus. This is a dark element boss. So, with lightning damage, I should be clearing this in a very decent time frame. Okay, 21 health bars left. Health bars left. The ultimate is one of the most satisfying things about this character. I really like the wave effect. A music inspired character. I'm all in for that. 12 health bars left. Four health bars left. And the boss is defeated. Well, that was actually fairly quick, and I would say it felt fairly easy. Okay. Let's go to the Nightmare Ball, my favorite boss in the game. I remember the time when killing this boss was basically proof that you're pretty good at the game. And I was so salty when I fought this for the first time. Oh man. You know, if you were one of the original players of this game, you would know what I'm talking about. This boss was annoying and I love it. One of the most challenging bosses in the whole game. To this day, one of the most difficult bosses in the game. Now this phase is when you have to evade lasers. This is where having a healer is also very nice, or a tank. I wish that I had a Trancendant healer so that I can recover the damage that I take from the lasers, but you know, I will try to survive in any way, shape or form. Okay, 20 health bars on the Nightmare Ball. This boss will really test your reflexes. This is more of a... Fighting this boss is more of a, you know, skill test than a character test, because this boss does require you to already know the moves and just have to have excellent reaction times in order to evade most of the nasty attacks that the boss can land on you. And to this day, I still mess up sometimes. But that's okay, that's fine. Okay, sorry for the weird cut. Boss at 3, 2, and well, the boss is defeated. Okay, that was also a very nice, clear. And that leaves us with the last boss, Rosetta. Now I think they will add new bosses to fight in the future, so I think I will include the new bosses in the testing phase here. Just have to wait for the bosses to actually be released. Okay, let's fight with Rosetta. The Rosetta actually is vulnerable to physical damage, to swords, so not really the best boss to fight with elemental characters, but it should still work just fine. So let's quickly eliminate Rosetta and see. Let's see what happens here. So far, running really smooth. 20 health bars. The damage output is still really nice, despite me using a 4-star weapon. So the character completely playable with 4-star weapons. Although I kinda wish that I did get the 5-star weapon, but I guess I didn't, so that leaves me with only the 4-star one. And honestly, not complaining, I'm still very happy with the result here. Still very happy with the results. And this was actually really fast. I expected the fight to last a bit longer. And now let's go and do some of the Warzone stages. Now, the character will perform the best against the enemies in the lighting zone, but this is the physical zone. So the score might be a little bit lower, but on the lighting zone the score should be much higher. And honestly, I would still be very happy with the result, because I think the result would be about the same as my main team that I use right now for the lighting zone, and that is really nice. Okay, 1 minute and 34 seconds on the timer. I had to retry the first attempt there because, well, I messed up on the start, and when I mess up on the start, I really like to usually restart, because I don't know, it's just, I think the right thing to do. If I mess up, I restart, and that's why I restarted the first attempt. 56 seconds. Okay. So far, doing really well. "31 seconds left on the timer. Wave number 5. 17 seconds left. Wave number 6 and timeout. Well, that was I would say a good run. Could have been a little bit better. However, I'm still quite happy with the result. 148,000 points. Nice. Higher than some of the normal characters that I tested out on this stage. Okay. The next map that is currently available is the Dark Elemental map. Let's quickly go and clear this map. And 2 minutes, go. Okay, 1 minute and 15 seconds. "25 seconds on the timer. And that was a very nice run as well. Should be a little bit higher than the previous score, 154,000. That's nice. Quite happy with that result. All right, well, that was a very nice little test. Honestly, this character is so much fun to play, and to obtain the character, she is guaranteed in 10 pulls, I believe, or something like that. All of the Transcendants are like guaranteed on 10 pulls, and honestly, it's quite generous from the developers. But with that being said, hope that you enjoyed, hope that you have fun playing this game as much as I do, and with that being said, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.